Welcome back, students. In continuation with the online class series of class 12 biology and lesson number 3, we are again here with human reproduction, dealing up with human reproduction. And as we have discussed already in our previous classes, that what is the male reproductive system, what are the components of the male reproductive system, and how does spermatogenesis takes place in human males, and what are the other accessory structures, and what are the other accessory activities also that takes place during the whole course of sexual reproduction in human males. Now today we are going to deal up in detail with the female reproductive system in human beings. So when we are talking about the female reproductive system, basically it comprises of a pair of ovaries, again a pair of oviducts. So when it is a pair of oviducts, it includes infundibulum, ampulla and fundus. Then third, it is the uterus. Fourth, cervix or the cervical canal. Fifth, it is the vagina. Sixth, external genitalia. And seventh, it is the mammary glands. So these are the component parts of the human female reproductive system, that is a pair of ovaries, then a pair of the oviduct, that is including the infundibulum, the ampulla and the fundus, then it is the uterus, then after the uterus it is the cervix, then after the cervix it is the vagina, and after the vagina comes the external genitalia, through which the act of copulation takes place, and then mammary gland, which forms an integral part of the female reproductive system. All and all of these plays a very major role, a significant role in the human reproduction, or what we can say that in the development of the reproductive activities in human females, and they become prepared by these structure or by these component parts, how these play a very important role in the development of the secondary sexual characteristics as well as the other characteristic patterns of human reproduction in the females. So now we are going to deal up in detail with each and every component part of this. First we are going to discuss the diagram of the female reproductive system. So this is the diagram of the human female reproductive system, and as I said you all that it consists of various parts. That is, the basic component of the female reproductive system is a pair of ovaries. A pair of ovaries, as we all know that humans, they are having bilateral symmetry, therefore every organ that is found in them is always present in pairs. So therefore a pair of ovaries is present, which is present in the lower abdominal region, one on either side of the vertebral column. Now when we are talking of the ovaries, these ovaries, they are basically 2 to 3 centimeter in length and round about 2 to 3 centimeter in length, and they are oval or rounded in structure. These ovaries, they are present in hanging position through a tissue which is known as the mesovarian, which keeps the ovaries attached to the uterus as well as to the effeminated ends of the fallopian tube. Then after proceeding from the ovaries, we see that the fallopian tube lies very close, or it lies in vicinity of the ovaries, and the very rearest end of the fallopian tube, it is having such type of the fibrated ends, having a finger-like projections, so that they can easily grasp up the ovum as soon as it comes out of the ovary. As soon as the ovum is going to get released from the ovary, these fibrated ends, they increase the surface area so that they can easily grasp up the ovum, and then it is passed on through the infundibulum. The infundibulum is the conical region which is present, or of course it is a cone-like region or a conical region which is present just after the fibrated ends, and it leads into a narrow tube which then further follows up and it becomes broader, than it is known as ampulla, and then this ampulla opens up into the isthmus. After the isthmus, the fallopian tube directly enters into the uterus. A uterus is a sac-like structure or a bag-like structure which is having a higher tensile strength or higher flexibility, and it is basically pear-shaped in structure. You all can see it very well that it is basically pear-shaped in structure, an inverted pear. Then as we all can see that the uterus, it is lined up by the uterine wall, and the uterine wall, it consists of 3 parts. That is, the very outermost part, which is a thin layer covering the uterus from outside, is known as the perimetrium. Then comes the middle myometrium, which is very much muscular in nature, and it helps in the contraction and relaxation of the uterus. And then lies the endometrium, which is the innermost layer of the uterine wall. This endometrium, it is very much glandular in nature, and it helps in secretion of various substances, and it also helps in the implantation of the embryo within the uterus. Then talking ahead, these are, as you can see, these finger-like projections, these are nothing else but these are the projections of the uterine wall, which prepares a soft bed for the implantation of the fetus on the uterine wall. Then this narrow opening is known as the cervix or the cervical canal, and then comes the vagina. The cervical canal and the vagina, they form a common pathway for the entry or the passage of the male gametes during the act of copulation inside the uterus, so that the act of fusion of the male and the female pronuclei can very easily take place over here. So this is the overall structure of the female reproductive system. Ahead, when we are going to talk about the external genitalia, dealing up with the external genitalia, it comprises of clitoris, then labia minora, labia majora, etc., etc., and these form the external genitalia, along with hymen, which forms a sort of a thin membrane over the external opening of the females. It is a thin membranous structure which is present as a thin opening. Then these are all the external genitalia of the female reproductive system. And when we are talking about the mammary glands, they play a very important role in the females, in every member of the mammalian group. Then when we are talking about the mammary glands, these mammary glands are basically having a large amount of the connective tissue which is areolar in nature, and these areolar tissues, they are divided in 15 to 20 groups which are known as the mammary glands. They are basically related with secretion of the milk at the time of parturition, at the time of the parturition, they get instincts, so that they can start out the milk ejection, which is very much required for nourishment of the fetus, newly born fetus that has taken birth. Then this is the whole structure of the female reproductive system, and I have told you all about what is the female reproductive system and what are the component parts of the female reproductive system, along with the female genitalia and the mammary glands. Now in the next video, we are going to talk about the process of oogenesis. How does it takes place in female reproductive system? Thank you.